Well, we are continuing to celebrate radio personalities today for National Radio Day. I am here with Johnny Green from 103.1 Kiss FM. Excited to be here because one thing is you're award winning, so congratulations. But
Thank you.
The thing about radio is you never know who you're going to find here. We have a very special guest here today. We're going to introduce you in just a moment. But Johnny, so glad to be here with you.
Hey, I'm glad you guys could be here. Thank you. Wasn't expecting to win an award, but I did. And thank you to the South Carolina Broadcasters Association.
Absolutely, absolutely. And tell us a little bit about your career in radio. When did you start and why did you start?
Wow, I started out in '82. As a matter of fact, this is the signal. I started on 103.1.
Oh, wow.
And went around through a few radio stations. I guess I can't mention. They may be competition. But, yeah, been around through a few radio stations and ended up back here when it was 98.5. And we made the switch to 103.1. And, of course, I was like Sanford. And like, oh, Lord, I'm back where I started. Yeah. So, yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah, but it's good to be here, and it's good to be recognized for the Southern Soul audience, you know, that market, Southern Soul, old school blues. Saturday Night Juke Joint was the show that won Best Radio Music Show.
Perfect. And you've been in radio for quite some time. How has it changed since you've started?
Well, the big thing is I don't think your generation knows what a record is.
Yes, I do.
Well, we went from records to tape, and now it's computer. You know, everything is MP3. So, yeah, that's one big thing. The downsizing of it. You know, it's some changes. Technology is just amazing. You know, with the things you can do.
Right, and if there was anything that you could bring back from radio years before or years ago, what is that one thing that you would bring back? That one thing that you really, really miss about radio?
The thing like we have today. We have an artist in the studio today, and that more artists come out, you know, to radio stations.
Yeah.
That would be the big thing to move their music to show people that they are human.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of special guests, we are going to introduce you Q Parker from 112. Oh, my goodness. One of my favorite groups from back in the day, Peaches and Cream. We're excited to have you joining us today, too. You've been in the industry for quite some time as well. Tell us, do you remember your first radio interview?
Whoa. I do not remember the first radio interview, but I can tell you that because we had extensive artist development and media training, shout out to Deanna Williams, I'm sure that we handled ourselves very well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you have any memorable moments from being on radio? No worries, you can mention it if you want to. Any radio names, of course, they are not here. Hopefully they're not here. But do you have any memories from being on radio? Anything that stands out to you?
Well, when we were starting, radio was the identifier that you had made it. To hear your song on the radio for the first time, it symbolized like, wow, our hard work has paid off. And so I've just always loved the relationship that my group members had with radio, which is why as I'm embarking on a new single that's entitled Beg, August 29th, I love being able to come and actually sit in front of the on-air personalities, have a relationship with the program directors, because I too feel like there's a disconnect. And so as I'm embarking on this new journey, I told my team to make sure that I do get on the road, visit the radio stations physically, so that there won't be that disconnect. So I just enjoyed my journey throughout the years with radio and me being a musician.
Absolutely. And you mentioned when you first heard your song on the radio, that was kind of that indicator that you had made it. Do you remember, or could you describe to us that moment when you first heard yourself, or if anybody called you and said, hey, you guys are on the radio?
Yes, it was 1996. We were in Daddy's house, recording studio, finishing the completion of the album. The single was out already, and as we were in the studio, someone ran in and like, yo, your song is on Hot 97 in New York, and everybody just stormed out of the booth. Everybody ran and just hovered around this little small radio that was at the reception desk. And for us, it was as if it was equivalent to when you watch the Temptations movie or the
Hmm.
Five Heartbeats when they all heard their song. It's just like complete joy, and it was the moment that we realized like we are now professional recording artists.